Hello, and let's talk about Delhi. I'm Pragya. At least 250 people are injured in the ongoing violence in Delhi. Helmet wearing men are roaming the streets of northeast Delhi. Religious places are under attack. There is a sense of fear in the affected areas. The violence has now gone on for 4 days. It has claimed 20 lives. The Delhi police are under severe criticism for mostly remaining mute spectators while mobs run riot on the streets. The Delhi High Court has noted that the police could have averted this violence had it acted as per the law. The situation is that the police have said that they have not given shoot orders nor imposed a curfew. The National Security Advisor has said that people must trust the men in uniform. Now, it appears that the rioters and the police are the only visible presence in the affected zones. Even emergency vehicles and ambulances were not allowed to rescue people for a long time. A young boy died in the Mojpur locality because his family was caught between two warring mobs. Even hospitals have come under attack. The newly elected government of Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is also facing severe criticism. People are saying that they did not do enough early enough, which might have helped control the violence. People are roaming around with rods, pistols, sticks, torching houses, shops, religious structures and vehicles. Muslim-owned properties and establishments are especially being targeted. The Congress chief Sonia Gandhi has said that the chief minister must be visible in affected areas and remain in constant communication with people. She has also said that the centre and the Home Minister Amit Shah are responsible for the violence. The Congress has demanded his resignation. Arvind Kejriwal has flagged the situation as alarming and said that the army must be called in as the police has failed. The National Security Advisor, who visited riot-hit areas of northeast Delhi last night and is set to brief the Union Cabinet on the Delhi violence. This morning, the Supreme Court called the situation unfortunate but dismissed a plea seeking intervention in the violence as the matter was already pending in the High Court. The Delhi High Court has asked today the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta to advise the Police Commissioner on lodging of FIRs relating to the alleged hate speeches by 3 BJP leaders. The Solicitor General and the Delhi police officer present in the court said that they had not seen one particular speech delivered by BJP leader Kapil Mishra. They had sought another 16 hours to tackle this case, which was filed by activist Harsh Mandar on hate speeches. A bench of Justices S. Muralidhar and Talwant Singh was hearing a plea seeking the lodging of FIRs and arrests of BJP leaders Kapil Mishra, Union Minister Anurag Thakur and Member of Parliament Parvesh Verma. The petitioner has said that their provocative statements led to brutal assaults on unarmed protesters who are opposed to the Citizenship Amendment Act. Right now, we have with us Gautam Navlakha, rights activist, to talk about the role of the Delhi police. Gautam, the High Court has used very strong words in criticizing the Delhi police. Had it acted according to law, the situation would have been averted. What do you think is really going wrong?
This is it's an established fact, and many senior police officers who have retired have written copiously pointing out that a riot-like situation can be brought under control within less than 24 hours if the police want it, and there are standard procedures laid down for tackling such situations, and the police has the skill to prevent or to bring to an end a riotous situation. If it doesn't happen, those police officers have reminded us, if it does not happen in 24 hours, means that there is a deliberate design, that it is being allowed to persist. Today is the 4th day,
right,
when Delhi and Northeast Delhi remains
under siege.
Virtually under siege, and especially now, it's very clear it's become a one-sided. It's not a riot-like situation. It's become a situation where minority housing, properties, religious places have come under attack, while police is either present with not with enough people on the ground, or they are absent actually, or they come late, as is usually the want.
Now, we
Now,
haven't seen a situation like this for almost 3 decades. What does this remind you of? To many, it would be like 1984.
exactly, that's the first thing I thought of. That's the first thing I thought of, that if for 4 days the situation carries on and you cannot bring it under control, that means that somewhere along the line, from the ruling dispensation itself, orders are coming, or they are by through the silence letting it carry on.
That is a risk that.
That is a risk they took. I don't know what it is. We are still not sure whether it's a deliberate design on the part of the ruling party, or it's a spontaneous thing, as the Union Home Minister has said, that it's a spontaneous.
Right.
Whether it is a design or spontaneous, the point is, if it has persisted for more than 96 hours, then it is no longer. Forget about spontaneous and deliberate design. It obviously means that it enjoys some level of support from people who can decide, who can take decisions and issue orders.
Right.
Obviously,
Gautam, we just had an election in Delhi, and typically in election time, there is a lot of intelligence gathering going on. There is a lot of information security is of paramount importance. Now, we find a strange situation where 10 days after elections, no intelligence reports that have been, leaked so far. Does this mean that the establishment was sleeping? Does it mean that we are not being told everything?
please remember, Pragya, that it's invariably neither the Ministry of Home Affairs nor the Intelligence Bureau monitors the activities of the right-wing, extreme right-wing groups which are linked to Hindutva. There is no special cell in the Intelligence Bureau monitoring the activities of the right-wing Hindutva groups. Please lay emphasis on that. That's one of the reasons why for 4 days, or in fact during the whole election campaign, when vicious speeches were being made, the police just stood by. They did not act. They could have acted. They were, during that period of elections, free of political control. If they wanted to exercise their autonomous choice, which many people who espouse the cause of police autonomy and reform claim that give police autonomy and they'll act. Well, they enjoyed that autonomy and they did not act. On the contrary, they acted as parties in the same partisan way as they have continued to do before or after. There's another thing, please note. It's alarming that the National Security Advisor, whose task is to protect India from external and internal sources of threat, is being asked to look into a matter which is otherwise would be treated as a law and order issue, much lower in the threshold of problems that a country faces, much lower. If the National Security Advisor has been deputed to bring Northeast Delhi under control, it also shows the extent to which this government is either hand in glove with those mobsters who are out on the street, and therefore unable to control them, and therefore they require something extraordinary, a crackdown to bring them under control, or it is being done because they've lost their faith in the established institutional arrangement where the Delhi police, which is tasked with law and order, backed by the local state intelligence bureau, etc., provide the intelligence inputs and they act on it.
Right.
It's also alarming that for 4 days, as you yourself mentioned in your introduction, there has been no flag march, there is no curfew, there is no shoot at sight orders.
In fact, the police has said that we have not issued, we will.
Now,
if they need it.
why? The same police force, without waiting for issuing of orders, have fired in Uttar Pradesh. Look at the conduct of police force in Uttar Pradesh and you'll understand. The police, where it wants to act, they can act without even following the order. And they violate the order. Right. Nobody gave them order to enter in Uttar Pradesh homes to beat up people, women and children, or to arrest them, or to fire bullets, or to to engage in arson and loot. Nobody ordered them, but they did it. Now in Delhi, the same police force, why is it that in its own recognition, why did it not take steps which were necessary to take? And when they took they've taken inadequate steps. I mean, after 4 days, if 96 hours, they continue to maintain that lackluster performance, then I'm sorry to say, Pragya, we are faced with a much bigger danger than you and I realize.
But we have the CRPF and other paramilitary out. Is that an unusual thing to do instead of the army?
I mean, it only means that unless you bring in paramilitary forces itself is an abysmal, it's an acceptance of your incompetence. Delhi is controlled by the Union Home Ministry. If the Union Home Ministry cannot even ensure law and order under its own nose and has to fall back on paramilitary forces and the army, then there is something seriously wrong with the Delhi police force. And in fact, it's very alarming that both the Home Minister and the Solicitor General told the Supreme Court, please do not pass any adverse comment because it will demoralize the police force. Union Home Minister said the identical things. Unnecessary and unwarranted criticism should not be leveled because this would demoralize police force. My question to everyone is that do we not care about demoralization of the citizens? Do we not care that if people lose their faith in the institutions, that demoralization is going to be much worse than the demoralization of a police force, which virtually is lawless, as we have seen in Jamia, in JNU, in Gargi College. So we don't need proof and evidence of what their conduct has been.
Thanks, Gautam. Thank you for joining us. Let's see now a video of the situation in the riot-affected areas. This is a ground report from Chandbagh.
आप बताइए पुलिस का रोल कैसा था?
जी डंडे बजा रही थी पुलिस, बहुत ना लेडीज देख रही थी ना जेंट्स देख रही थी, बहुत बजा रही थी, बहुत मारी थी। और सामने मोहन पर से खड़े होके फायरिंग कर रहे थे, कितनों पे मारी है गोली और डंडे भी बजाए खूब। लेडीज ने छोड़ी ना जेंट्स छोड़े।
आप सुनो, आप ये बताइए पुलिस जो है हमारे रखवाली के लिए है या गोली मारने को या लाठी चार्ज करने के लिए? बताइए आप। जब हम धरने पे बैठे थे बिल्कुल सही चल रहा था हमारा धरना, एकदम पुलिस आई बहुत सारी पीछे की तरफ।
कितने बजे की बात होगी?
ये होगी कम से कम 11 बजे की बात है। तो पुलिस वाले फिर बहुत लाठी चार्ज करी, 2-3 औरतों को भी लाठी मारी उन्होंने।
पुलिस वाले ने मुझे घेर लिया और घेरने के बाद मुझे डंडों से खूब मारा। फिर एक आदमी ने आके कूद करके इतनी बड़ी ईंट लाके मेरे सर पे मारी। मारने के बाद फिर पुलिस ने फिर मुझे मारा और मेरे काफ़ी चोट लगी है, तो मुझे होश नहीं है। पुलिस वालों ने मगर मुझे बहुत मारा। जब उसे अमित शाह को वोट मांगना था तो वो घर घर गली गली वो वोट मांग रहा था, पैर छू रहा था, सबके हाथ पैर पकड़ पकड़ के वोट मांग रहा था। आज अगर गरीब जनता को उसकी जरूरत है, हम ही ने उन्हें कुर्सी दी है, हमने ही उन्हें राजा महाराजा बनाया, तो आज वो हम आम जनता की बातें क्यों नहीं सुन रहा? वो बेचारा कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा था, उसे गोली मार दी। 2 महीने शादी को सारे हुए, उसकी घर बीवी बैठी है रही, उसकी बीवी ये रही, इसकी बीवी। किसी को ऐसा सबर आ जाएगा, उसकी बीवी को सबर आएगा। उसमें 2 महीने शादी को सारे हुए अभी।
ठीक है बेटा।
मेरे भाई से क्या लेना चाहता है वो? हमारे पास क्या है? क्या बिगाड़ा था मेरे भाई ने उनका? क्यों गोली मारी उन्हें?
We now talk to Pranjal Reva from NewsClick about the situation. Pranjal, a large part of the city is burning, but the rest of the city, life is normal. What does this mean? Are we polarized to this extent?
See, Pragya, I think there's a two-way problem to this entire issue that you're talking about. One issue is that the areas which we are talking about, which are right affected, are ghettos in the outskirts of Delhi. They are near to the UP border. As clear, they have pockets where the Muslim population is in majority, but there are also areas which are those pockets are mostly ghettos, right? And the other part of the Delhi which we are sitting in right now, and central Delhi and all, you can see a stark difference between the two areas. It can be class wise, it can be understanding wise, it can be issue wise, And also there is a complete clampdown that way also on what kind of reporting that is happening, right? So when you can see in last 2-3 days when initial days when the riots broke out, the entire focus was around Trump's visit in the
Yes.
mainstream media.
Yes.
It was only the alternate medias and some one or two mainstream media which were talking about it in bits and portions, but otherwise primarily focusing around Trump's issue. Do we say that this has led to the polarization of the two sections of the city? I would really not be in a position to comment on that, but definitely this shows a kind of insensitivity that one section of the society has towards another section of the society. That, okay, a part of city is burning, but then there's another part of the city which has to work on day-to-day basis, and they're too busy in what they're doing.
Right. Now, there's also this thing where the victims are complaining that, a lot of people are outsiders. What does this mean? Is this a sign of some sort of engineering? It is not spontaneous? What does this mean?
See, Pragya, you have to see the kind of speeches that Kapil Mishra had made, and things just broke out after that.
Yes.
And the amount of police presence which was there on the ground, and on videos which is visible in social media and also now in the mainstream, that on some occasions police was helping them in throwing stones and telling them, put a mask on your face so that people don't see you. So, I mean, it won't be difficult to draw conclusions that whether it was an engineered, pre-planned attack or not, because protests come up on Saturday night, and those protests have been going on for more than 1 month, 2 months.
That's right.
A BJP leader comes and makes a speech that will get it cleared after 3 days if you don't do anything. And the same evening, all of these things start. And then what has been happening in last 3 days, that police is there on the ground, ambulances are not being allowed to enter inside. Somebody has to go to High Court to appeal that you provide protection to the ambulance so that we can get injured.
Yes.
And this is all happening when police is there. I mean, you were easily able to identify one gunman who was having gun in his hand on the first day, and I really don't have the name in my mind right now, but they said he was from the anti-CA protesters side.
Yes.
But what about hundreds of people roaming with lathis, sticks, swords and guns in those areas, and especially once we have reported that they are close to 20 deaths. How have those people died? Why have you not arrested them? So it looks like that they engineered, pre-planned. You can draw your own conclusions.
Pranjal, one more BJP leader, he's actually the vice president of the party in Delhi. He has been seen and photographed and recorded with a mob, which is shouting again the same inflammatory slogan which Kapil Mishra had done. So this climate of impunity, do we hear that this riot, this fight is spreading to other areas of Delhi? Is that something which we should be concerned about?
See, as far as the situation was there yesterday evening, obviously it has spread to different other areas. For example, the riot primarily started from Mospur, Zafrabad, Selampur areas, Chandbagh areas. After one day, you have it happening in Khajuri Khas, Karawal Nagar, Shriram Colony. Then you get to know about Khureji also.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see that the entire area is under attack.
Also, the control of rumors is also the job of the
police.
Yes.
Exactly. Now you're getting messages circulating from 10 different places that we have been carried out, people are there outside our houses and they're attacking us. What do we do? How many of it is true, how many of it is not true, we don't know. But if the police is there and this has been happening in national capital region, if police is not able to control it, then I mean there are multiple questions that we need to ask. Coming back to the initial question that you had asked, that okay, it has spread across different parts of the Delhi. There was a continuous appeal from protesters who were organizing sit-in against the CA and PRNRC, that this is a peaceful protest and we do not want any kind of violence. But these leaders come out, they make these speeches in front of police. Kapil Mishra's speech, the police is standing behind him, right? And then nothing happens. Right now, when all of this was being discussed in the court today morning, the AG says that we haven't seen Kapil Mishra's video, and the High Court had to play it out there.
Yes.
So that kind of impunity is there. I mean,
the whole city, in fact, the whole country would have, whoever has a mobile phone would have seen
that video
yes.
clearly, and they're saying that we have not seen that video.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't think it's difficult to say that yes, they had the impunity, and this is not something which has happened in the last 3-4 days. If you look from Delhi election campaigns when it started, the kind of hate speeches that were made, have any FIRs been filed? One FIR was filed against Anurag Thakur and Parvesh Verma after Brinda Karat of the CPIM filed a petition in the court that FIR should be registered against them.
And the same thing is happening now for these FIRs as well.
Right. So obviously they have the impunity when you have people shouting religious slogans and going on there while police is standing as a mock spectator. Do they have the impunity? Yes.
You know, Pranjal, you keep a very close eye on politics. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is also coming under some amount of criticism. You know, they seem to have squandered a moment to really stand up for more than their strategic development narrative. Now, what do you think? They do not control the police in Delhi, and what could they really have done?
See, if you even look, keep aside the administrative part of the Aam Aadmi Party government, that okay, they don't control the Delhi police. It falls under the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is Mr. Amit Shah. But look at the organizational structure of Aam Aadmi Party. How many cadres do they have on ground? How many party workers do they have on ground? None. But they have recently won a massive election because of those cadres. So if Aam Aadmi Party actually would have wanted that these riots should stop, or if they would have been keen on ensuring that peace prevails, they could have easily asked their activists, volunteers, cadres to go on ground and do these peace marches. Have they done it? No.
What can be done now?
And what have they done? They have gone to Rajghat to pray
Yes.
pray for peace. I don't know, will you call it a gimmick? I don't know. Yesterday night, a group of students went outside Arvind Kejriwal's house to asking for a meeting. What happened? Water cannon was shot at them. So this is what Aam Aadmi Party is doing. Now today morning they have expressed concerns and they're saying
They want
they want the army to come. This could have been done 3 days back.
Now, what can actually be done in a situation like this to stop this violence?
See, Delhi has multiple structures inside the city. One is the group of civil societies activists who are like today assembling in Jantar Mantar appealing for peace. One is the Delhi police, which should have been more efficient, but now still they can be more efficient after the court's order that they go and actually prevent things from happening.
Yes.
You have political parties, not just Aam Aadmi Party, but you have a Congress which was in power for 15 years here. Where are they? None of their leaders are seen speaking. The local leaders I'm talking about. So all these things now need to come together, appeal for peace in these areas, ensure that proper rehabilitation and rescue missions are carried on. People who are not allowed to go to hospital because of the mob surrounding their areas, that should be ensured that people come out of those areas and go to the hospitals and receive proper treatments, because you have reports of 20 deaths. How have they died? There are some reports that people were not allowed to even move out to hospitals because there was a mob around their houses. So if Delhi police can ensure that this doesn't happen, then maybe those people can get treatment in a better way. So these are the only things that can be done. But as a media organization of ours, and should be our appeal to all the media organizations, that okay, whatever is happening, show the truth, but also ensure that a message for peace is taken out in public, and the inciting of violence should not happen.
All right. Thank you so much, Pranjal. As the father of one of the victims of violence has said that Kapil Mishra set the city afire and went home, leaving ordinary people to witness the death of their children. For the record, Mishra has said that he did nothing wrong. And that's all we have in today's episode of Let's Talk. Catch us live from Monday to Friday at 3 p.m. Thank you for watching.